Hey guys, so the other day I was thinking about how complicated and varied the gay lexicon is, like how we really do have our own lingo. And I was curious as to whether people outside of the bubble of the gay world know these terms. So I figured it'd be fun to do a video going through all the words I could think of that are specific to the gay world and what these words mean. And it's funny how, like, for people within this community, these are regular words that we hear thrown around a lot. We see it in porn. It's something you talk about with your friends at the bar or whatever. But to the masses, these are just words that don't really mean anything other than their obvious, like, regular meaning in society, right? So to start with, just like the different identities within the gay world, there's, of course, the bear being, the gay guy who typically is bigger, brawnier, and hairy, hence why they're called bears. And then, if they're a younger version of that, typically a bit more fit, then they're called otters. So if I had to give like a celebrity analogy, I would say a bear would be like a Russell Crowe is a bear, I would say, and then an otter would be like, obviously these are not gay men, but I'm just saying if they were, they would fit perfectly within those categories. Otter would be maybe Jake Gyllenhaal, I think that would work. Typically darker features, hairy, that kind of thing. Then of course there's twink. Twink is like the really thin, scrawny, boyish looking gay guy. So in terms of celebrities, and actually he is gay, I would say that like Neil Patrick Harris, when he was younger, like maybe 10, 15 years ago, would have been like the ideal twink in terms of image. Then there's the whole daddy thing. And it's funny because this word, I feel like I've noticed teenagers use this word now jokingly, that they like to call each other daddy, but it is a thing in the gay world, guys who identify as like daddies, right? They're the older guy who prefers a younger guy, and they like to be the caretaker of the younger gay guy, right? The big spoon, I guess. And then there's POZ, P-O-Z, and that means somebody who's HIV positive. So that's something that you'll see on different apps, especially on an app like Grindr that's so sexualized that it has its own category on Grindr. If you only want to look for guys who are POZ, that's a thing, that's a category. I love these next two words because they're just so ridiculous, and again, this is something that like only gay people would come up with. Rice queen. A rice queen is somebody, like the way there's chubby chasers, a rice queen is somebody who only goes for and only chases Asian gay men. And then this one's amazing. My friend taught me this one. I didn't know this was a thing. Hummus queen, which is somebody who only goes for Middle Eastern men, hence the hummus association. Of course, then there's the regular like top and bottom, which most people I think know, but top is the more dominant guy sexually. The bottom is the more submissive guy, or the more passive guy, I guess, in the bedroom. And then you've got verse, which is short for versatile. Those are the guys who flip-flop and who are cool with doing various things in a sexual situation. Going off of the sex talk, barebacking. Barebacking is very frightening to me, but it's the word people use to mean not using protection when you have sex. It's called barebacking. You've got the mask, which I've done a video about, the mask complex. Mask is short for masculine, so you'll see guys who on apps say mask for mask. They're masculine, allegedly, and they're only looking for somebody who's also masculine. Then you've got femme, which is short for feminine. You'll also see that guys who say they only are interested in femme guys. You've got butch. Butch is typically more used with lesbians, but a butch lesbian is like, a lesbian who is maybe a bit like rougher around the edges and not so feminine. Then you've got trade. So I actually had to Google this because I forgot what it meant. Or not Google it, I had to Urban Dictionary it. But trade is a guy who messes around with other guys, but you wouldn't know that he does that. So I guess he lives a straight life, but he messes around with gay guys. I don't really see how that's different from the down low, unless the idea with a trade is that they're open about it maybe, but you just wouldn't suspect. I'm not quite sure, but trade is one of those words. Discreet is kind of in the same bubble. You'll see guys, again on Grindr, that's a category, guys who are discreet, meaning like they do this, they meet other gay guys, but it's like, don't ask, don't tell. This didn't happen. These are the guys who like want to hang out with you, but they don't even want to send you a picture of what they look like, not even their face. Then you got the down low, of course, the DL. That's the guys who, you know, are gay, but they have wives, they have kids, they date women, or they act like they date women, but they've got this whole other secret life going on. So to add to that, beard, which I mentioned in a previous video, a beard is like, if a guy's on the DL, the woman he's dating or seeing, or, you know, who hangs out with him in public, that's his beard, which I guess comes from the idea that like a beard makes you look more masculine. So these women make them seem more manly, or sort of preserve their manhood or their masculinity, that they're not really gay men. And then my favorite term, because it's just so ridiculous, generous. Again, this is something that like in the real world, I feel like people would never think this means something in the gay world. But if you see someone on an app who says, I'm only looking for generous guys, that's what that means. They're looking for pay. To go along with that, some guys, instead of saying generous, will say roses. They expect roses. I don't know where that comes from. I searched it on Urban Dictionary for like a good 10 seconds, and I just didn't feel like searching beyond the first entries that had nothing to do with it. But I don't know what the origin of that, but I think it's fascinating that roses equates money in the gay slang world. So if somebody says, I'm looking for roses, or I'm only looking for guys who are generous, or you talk to somebody and they say that they're generous, it might be your lucky day. You might just have had an extra payday. I want to learn some new words. Let me know in the chat.